Well, welcome again. We're back at the Orlando Conference Center here in a beautiful Sunshine State, and we are here for HIMSS 19, and I have the pleasure of being with Lydia Cooley, who is the Healthcare Sales Executive for Federal with UiPath, a big leader in the robotic process automation space. And Lydia, welcome to Orlando. Welcome to this webcast.
Hi, Todd. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here with Technatomy, an excellent partner to UiPath, and visiting beautiful Orlando. There's a little sprinkle today, but it's still sunny, and I'm happy to be here.
There was a little rain out, and it's nothing like what's going on up north on the East Coast, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
We've been talking about digital process automation and kind of what the use case is for robotic process automation as part of that story. But tell me a little bit from a healthcare perspective, because oftentimes people think of this technology as back office, ERP, but in the healthcare sector, why is it so meaningful? Why does it make a difference?
Well, I think there are sort of three main areas we're seeing, and so I'll mention each of those, and then if you'd like, I can offer you some examples today. So, for example, we see a lot with interoperability in healthcare, and we'll hear about that a lot during this conference. Robotic process automation is a great answer for a lot of those challenges, and that is with systems with or without application programming interfaces. So, we see a lot of APIs, particularly in newer systems, but I work with federal customers, and they have a lot of systems, legacy and mainframe, and so even without APIs, robotic process automation can solve interoperability, and that's because the software robots can log in like a human. So RPA mimics humans doing tasks. and so some of the other examples you mentioned, administrative, that's sort of the big value in government so far. So last year we had over 25 federal cabinet agencies and cabinet level agencies pilot RPA. And this year,
they're looking at it for a variety of use cases.
That's right, and you mentioned back office. This year we're going to see them scale, and we're already seeing that with General Services Administration, with NASA, with DLA and DISA. Those are mature programs that are scaling up this year, and you can Google and hear the customers talking about RPA and all the value they're finding. So those are two kind of big challenges in healthcare that we see RPA being used for. Also, we see with healthcare providers, we see the user experience and the patient experience. Both of those type of problems can be solved with robotic process automation.
You know, people think of healthcare so much as a personal kind of service, and now we're introducing robotic process automation. Little known story, you worked with Gartner, and you kind of have an appreciation for the return on investment and what it could, the fourth industrial revolution, as some folks call this. How are folks finding value in the healthcare space, in particular, with this idea that we can do things not only better and more efficiently, but also potentially more accurately and make better outcomes happen because of the technology?
Well, I like what Gartner is doing in this space. I spent a good part of my career there, and a lot of the advice has to do with using RPA. It's a non-intrusive option. So if you're a federal agency and you can't, quote unquote, modernize or sort of rip and replace systems, and or you're using another agency's system, so you can do that and automate without a lot of intrusion into an existing platform using RPA.
Is it cheaper to get there? I mean, with the modernization, can you do it in a gradual slope?
That's why I'm at UiPath, because of the short implementation time, the short time to value, and the much lower cost of RPA implementations versus all of the large-scale federal type of software implementations we're all used to. We're seeing a minimum of 15-to-1 ROI. We're seeing implementations that are happening from 5 to 14 weeks. To value.
That's amazing.
It is unbelievable. I mean, that is why I came to UiPath, and the same goes for a lot of my colleagues who came from, a lot of
15 weeks. You're putting things in.
We can do 4 to 15 weeks. We can do an RPA implementation, and so that time to value turns so quick. And as you know, our customers want to reinvest that savings into mission-driven initiatives and things that are more important than some of this mundane, repetitive work. And so that's what we're seeing. And we're also seeing federal employees and healthcare employees guys really take to this idea. So you start with some pilots, you start with some RPA, and then you can scale quickly because of the organizational acceptance. They're sort of lining up to get their projects automated.
Show me how to do my work more efficiently,
Right.
less effort, and get it done more accurately. Amazing story.
That's what we're seeing, and our partners like Technatomy are so critical to that. UiPath is an RPA software firm, so we don't provide professional services. We rely on our partners who have deep relationships with federal agencies and healthcare providers and healthcare payers, and they're the ones who know what's best to start, which projects how to prioritize the projects and so forth, and then we know how to make the software
and we're
implement
working
well.
so wonderfully together.
Yeah.
It does make a lot of sense for the federal government. Lydia, thank you so much for stopping by.
Sure, it was a pleasure, Todd. Thanks to you and for Technatomy for having us.